What could be better than that? Happy Science Sunday.
I'm so excited.
And you just can't hide it?
Yeah, she always teaches me something new. So what are we making today?
Okay, so this is actually specifically weather related. I was trying to pick, we haven't done something weather related in a while, so I wanted to show you guys how to make clouds.
Okay.
So this is a really easy experiment, but I'm going to preface this by saying parental supervision is not only needed, or I guess parental permission is not only needed, but parental supervision is necessary because it is going to include using a match.
Okay.
Yeah, only one, but of course, kids don't try this at home. Okay, so important distinction here is that you're going to need a glass bottle or glass jar. This can absolutely not be plastic, of course, because we're using heat. And then the second thing is that we need a metal tray. I will preface this by saying, parents, I know that aluminum trays are oftentimes kind of hanging out around the kitchen. This will not work with aluminum. I actually did try it just to have that distinction. So what you're gonna need is that glass jar or bottle, an a metal tray, a match, something to stir with, so a spoon is easy,
okay.
And then you're also going to need warm water.
All right.
Okay, so this is how clouds form. Okay, I'm gonna walk Kaylin through the experiment and then we're gonna kind of talk about what I'm doing. So you're gonna pour your warm water in your jar. This one's still a little hot, so we're gonna give it a second to cool off. But essentially the warm water is supposed to be showing what the atmosphere does. So you're gonna take your spoon and you're gonna kind of stir the warm water there. And you're gonna stir it, and as you do so, what's happening is that you're actually gonna release water vapor into the rest of the jar. You can kind of see, because the jar was a little bit warm, that's kind of already got some of that water vapor, but essentially you're releasing it up there. Okay, so you stir it for a second, and then I'm gonna actually ask you to hold up this little spooky cloud background, just like kind of on the side of the jar, just because it's gonna make it easier to see. So now that you've released water vapor into the atmosphere, you're gonna take one singular match. Don't laugh at me. I'm gonna just make sure I'm doing this safely. Oh, there you go. You're gonna light it, give it a few seconds to kind of get a little smoky, blow it out, pop it in, and then you're immediately going to put your metal tray on top. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna take ice. I brought this from home because I think my ice from home is aesthetically pleasing. You're gonna put it on top of the metal tray. And what's happening is that it's gonna cool down the top of the cloud. So this important distinction is made. And then if you look at the center of the jar, you can see, and that's why I had asked Kaylin to do the little background, is because you can actually see the cloud forming if you look really closely. Do you see it?
Yeah, I think I do.
And then watch. See how it releases? Okay, so this is what's happening.
Okay.
So, fun fact for those who love to stick their tongue out when it's raining. Water vapor has to attach itself to something. This is how clouds form. And so those are oftentimes attached to things like dust, pollution, smoke. It's called cloud condensation nuclei. And so what you're doing is you're kind of, by the warm water, you're activating kind of what happens when we're warm and muggy outside and getting rising air. By activating the match and throwing it in there, you're allowing the water vapor something to attach itself to. And then when you're cooling it off on the top using the metal tray, what you're doing is you're showing what happens when those water vapor particles reach the upper levels of our atmosphere where it's colder, and it kind of caps them.
Okay.
And that like kind of smushing them in, kind of like it was smushed in here, is how cloud cover forms.
Okay.
Now, if you use 2 matches, it will do it even more. But I wanted to do it safely on here. So
you don't
kids,
like
again,
to get too wild and crazy.
Try not to get too wild and crazy on Science Sunday. But basically, the more smoke particles you would put in there, if you do want to test this out with your kids, and again, doing it safely and allowing yourself to put them in there, the more smoke you have, the more kind of cloud cover will attach itself to. But yeah, that's how you make clouds in a jar.
Certainly going to be some clouds over the weekend.
Yeah, I was about to say, themed weather for you, because of course we're seeing a lot of clouds and rain out there right now. You can see widespread showers moving through the entire area. But when will this clear out, and when will the clouds clear out too? More on that forecast coming up.